Everyone, welcome to the Death Battle Cast. We have a lot to get through today. Whoa, holy shit!
What? Oh my gosh.
I disappeared again.
Wow.
Well, I guess Billy was going to join
I'm
us.
back!
He's back!
Sorry, I'm still practicing.
Wow.
Yeah, can we talk about what an amazing intro? Like, you've had some incredible pop-ons. You love to always surprise us, but that by far takes the cake. Audio listeners, he just walked through a Doctor Strange portal.
He's a mage.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense. I believe it. Okay, but speaking of Doctor Strange, we have a bunch of Marvel movies to talk about today because this is part 2 to our complete MCU filmography tier list thing that we started last week.
Very
Yeah,
important work.
if you have not watched the last one, go do that. I'm very excited to get into phase 3 today and hopefully wrap all this up. We'll see. We'll try to wrap all this up. Of course, I'm joined by Billy the Magician, Chad the Boomstick, and Josh is here too, editor, writer extraordinaire,
And director.
So, oh yes, and director. All the things.
True.
And so let's go ahead and we also have later on in the show a sneak peek for the upcoming death battle of Omni-Man versus Homelander. Like easily one of our most requested episodes as of late. So very excited to share it with you guys. I think the battle
so pretty.
looks so freaking cool. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of a different flavor of Death Battle too. But you'll have to see the full thing to really get the vibe of that. But let's go ahead and jump into our tier list. There is a quick update based on some conversations we had after
All right, listen.
last week.
Real talk. We hung out for like 30 minutes after the show ended, still arguing and debating and talking about this. So Ben went back to the drawing board.
Well, we've added a D tier and we've moved just 3 films around. So Hulk and Iron Man 2 are now in D tier, and Iron Man 3 is now in C tier. So the D tier will hopefully help, everybody be a little more willing to put some stuff down below.
Yeah, I think we needed it.
And not necessarily in the trash tier.
Those
Because
3 down there, they kind of made the curve a little weird, so...
you guys just take that trash tier so seriously. Gosh. But all right, so now that we have an extra tier, this might make it a little easier, or it's going to make things way more complicated. Who knows? Because now there's a whole new tier to throw around. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up that tier list one more time, Brian, so we can run through where we're at right now. So we got Iron Man 2, Avengers, and the Guardians of the Galaxy in S tier. In competition for the GOAT spot. Again, only one will be able to get into GOAT at the end of this. We got Winter Soldier at A, Iron Man. Sorry, it's like
3.
We're on my screen right now.
2. 1.
No. What is that? Why is my screen not able to tell what that is? That's Captain America.
Captain America.
Right.
Captain America and Age of Ultron are in B tier. Thor and Iron Man 3 are in C tier. Hulk and Iron Man 2 in D tier. And Dark World all the way in the garbage bin. Again, like I said last time, none of these movies are bad. Honestly, even Dark World, even Hulk, even Iron Man 2, there's a lot of good stuff in them. There's a lot of really cool artistry to them. A lot of really talented people worked on these films. So even putting something in trash tier is not us saying everything about this film is horrible. Or the film missed the mark or anything like that. Honestly, I don't think any of these films missed what they were going
They're all
for.
watchable.
Mm-hmm.
They're all watchable, at
the
least.
very least.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the next one. So technically, we are not done with phase 2 yet, but nobody even really remembers that Ant-Man is in phase 2. Neither do we. Ant-Man, where does it go? A, B, C, or D, or S, or trash?
I love that you said S, like there's no way that's
No
happening.
way.
Maybe if he snuck on there, we didn't see him because it was so small.
Yeah, it's so small.
I don't know. C?
feels
And
right with
Yeah,
the
I would
first
say
one.
B or C. Yeah.
If you are watching this live on Tuesday, I see a lot of bronze badges in the chat, which is awesome. Go ahead and let us know as well. We are going to take your opinions into account. We can also put up a poll as well for each of these. Although I think the Ant-Man one is going to be pretty quick. I think everybody's on board with C, right?
Yeah.
Not
That's
A
funny
for
moments.
Ant-Man, chat. Not A for Ant-Man. That's not how this works.
William does that every time. He got one in on the first tier list, and then now every time he's like, if I can put it together, I'm gonna do it.
I really like Ant-Man. I think it's a
fun.
ton of fun.
Yeah.
I think it's C.
I
cool with that?
pitched out
Yeah,
C.
yeah. And Pym being
All
in
right.
it sets up
All
a
right.
whole bunch of stuff that comes
The
down to
chat thinks
Yes.
it's B though. It looks like
I would
right
go.
now.
I think I would be okay with B as well, but C is fine. I think it's somewhere in between for me. Both Ant-Man movies, I feel like they present themselves as like comedies first, so they're like really silly, really broad in a way that the other movies kind of aren't. And I think it works better in this one than the second one. Spoilers, but yeah, I would be comfortable with B or C.
We have Age of Ultron and B. I would watch Ant-Man over Age of Ultron. Yeah. I agree. with
what,
you. Let's put it
really?
in
see that.
Interesting.
Ant-Man 1, yes. Ant-Man 2, I don't know.
No.
Ant-Man 1, yes. I think Ant-Man 1 is a very enjoyable little comedy film.
DJ the Gamer says Ant-Man isn't B. He's an ant, not a B.
Nice.
How can you argue with that? I say C personally, but the chat says B.
Let's go
All right, it's in B. Let's move on.
Way to go, Scott.
Let's go ahead and bring it to B. Yeah. Honestly, the chat poll is pretty overwhelmingly B. Awesome. So next up is Civil War. This one I think is going to be its own Civil War.
Yeah, fair.
This is gonna be hard.
Okay.
Civil War
might
has
be
my
one-
absolute favorite fight scene in all of the MCU. So
Which
like
one is that, chat?
Winter Soldier and Cap versus Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's a
very
good
solid.
one. It's a good
Oh,
one.
it's so good.
Yeah, it's a very good
All-
ending. It's got a very solid ending fight. I think this one and Winter Soldier did a very good job just with Cap in general. A lot of the Avengers films leading up to this, I don't think really presented Cap as like a capable fighter compared to the others. And this film and the other one, Winter Soldier, like fixed that in my opinion. Like he's a fucking boss in this.
Yeah.
So, but in
I don't think
terms
it's
of like,
going. I don't think it's going lower than A, right? Like,
Yeah.
I guess.
this is a debate between A and S.
That's where I'm at. A and S, somewhere in between.
Ben has a different opinion. He wants a B.
For
You,
me,
need to
it
get,
feels
you
like
get a whole
it
lot of
feels like-
firsts, and they're pretty well handled. You get Spider-Man, you get Black
definitely.
Panther.
Yeah.
Zemo pops up in this, obviously. Winter Soldier's also well covered in this. Bucky, I guess, by this point. But there's a lot of really neat things they're juggling, and they succeed pretty well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Here's the only thing with Civil War, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with what I'm about to say. I'm sort of like bouncing this through my head. Captain America: Civil War feels more like an Avengers movie than a Captain America movie, and it follows like the story is about Captain America like protecting his friend and finding his friend. Like that's the story of it.
Right.
But that's not really what people talk about when they talk about Civil War, right? Like when you think of Civil War, you think of like, oh yeah, the airport fight scene or Spider-Man and Black Panther show up.
Yeah.
Like I remember there being some confusion when this movie came out about what Cap was trying to do, because the story is like the reason why he's so against everybody is because he wants to prove Bucky's innocence. But like I remember people saying like, well, Cap's stupid because the only reason why he's fighting everybody is because of the Accords. It's like, well, there's more to it than that.
Well, see,
so
then
I don't
it's
know.
accurate. It's accurate to the comics then, because the motivation for both the sides of the Civil War is also stupid.
I mean,
that's fair.
yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is I think the movie might be a little unfocused.
Yeah.
And I will say,
agree.
like, all the interactions between like Tony and Cap were just I don't know. It was just like I just hit my point. We're just like, yeah, I get it. Like you're fighting to fight. I don't know. Like,
Well, there's
the reason why real quick, sorry, Josh. The reason why Ultron is in B is because it's unfocused. So shouldn't that mean that this is B too?
That's interesting. I was just gonna say, like, there's a point during the airport fight that has always stayed with me when thinking back to this movie. And Falcon says to Cap when he's trying to decide if he needs to stay at the airport or go move forward and get the other Winter Soldiers, he's like, Cap, this isn't the real fight. And it's like, yeah, you're totally right, Falcon. Like, this airport fight is just for fun, and it's fantastic, but it is like just fun. It's not like a real struggle between these characters. Like I think the Sokovia Accords could have been their own like multi-film saga, but we kind of treat it in one little film, wrap it in a bow, and then move on. Like the real conflict is in that second half or that last act with Cap, Tony, and Bucky.
Also,
Whatever
Luis
happened to the Accords?
Yeah,
they're
they just
still
kind of
referenced here and
Did
there.
the plot
They're
ever
just
get wrapped up?
No,
Not
I mean they're
really.
still active, right? They show up all the way into Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff. So they're still
But then
around.
like post snap, it's kind of just like, yeah,
Oh.
whatever.
Right, I guess
I-
that's true.
I
Yeah.
guess Ross shows up in Infinity War, right? Where he's like, "Oh, it's time to like," or maybe it's Endgame. I don't remember. He shows up in one of the movies and he's like, "Avengers, you're gonna listen to me," and they're all like, "Fuck you."
Nah, probably not.
also, Luis is in the chat, and he just dropped the knowledge that he never saw this movie, which is
What?
Wow.
at least you got to
It's
do
an
that.
impressive feat.
Oh my goodness.
Especially
All
the
right.
fight. The fight scene. Anyway,
All right, let's go. Let's check out the chat. So the chat is voting A pretty predominantly.
I'm leaning
Uh,
towards A for
I'm
this
cool
one.
with A.
All right, let's put it in A.
Yes.
I think. I'm on board with that. Again, like the things I was saying before, I'm not even trying to necessarily believe it's it's that unfocused. I just feel like it's worth talking about.
Apparently, A is for America.
Only Captain America is an A. All right, next up is Doctor Strange, which I was very surprised. Like when it came out, I think a lot of people were like, might be
Because
interesting, but
it was
I really
Iron
liked
Man
it.
4
I liked it a lot,
in
too.
its structure. That was the problem with it. It was just
Mm.
the same story again. But it did have
Somewhat
some really
irony,
neat visuals. I wish they had broken up the structure of it, where it was not, here's his origin, here's him doing shit. Starting
Mhm.
with him already being Doctor Strange and then work that shit in, which is kind of what they've started doing some other films. I think that would have been stronger personally, but
Yeah.
Is Doctor Strange the last origin film that we got? I'm looking at the list right now.
Well, like Captain Marvel.
Eternals.
Oh, I guess Captain Marvel's an
Eternals, yeah.
origin film, yeah. But
Yeah,
like,
some of the
I
later
mean more
ones.
so like
Shang-Chi.
it starts into the story.
Mhm.
Because Captain Marvel starts after she already has her powers. It's
Yeah,
more
that's
of
the
her
structure.
figuring out her origin.
Right, I
Oh,
think that's a stronger
sure.
structure personally.
Yeah. Whereas Doctor Strange, I think, is the last time they ever did that like
Mhm.
progressive origin story. I think, right? Am I wrong? No, I think that is. Yeah, Eternals also like we start with them, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of flashbacks going on in Eternals, maybe a bit too much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I will agree. I think that is maybe the biggest weakness of the movie. Just the way it's told. It would have been. I think it would have been really interesting if we jumped into. He was already Sorcerer Supreme,
Yeah.
or like training to be Sorcerer Supreme, because it
I
does
know.
happen very fast, right?
Yes,
Like,
very fast.
Montage.
why
Montage
is
heavy.
he Sorcerer Supreme of all people?
Yeah,
Like-
it does get quick. I'm trying to think. I
Everybody
love-
else was there for much longer.
Yeah, I loved his cape kicking ass.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
always
yeah.
fun.
Cape as a character.
Yeah, exactly. That was very, very fun.
It's one of my favorite like villain fights in all these movies. Like it's pretty clever, in my opinion. Like,
Oh, I
he-
love
Yeah,
that too. That was gonna be the next
yeah.
thing on my list. Yeah, that the ending was great. It's just like, all right, I'll show you, unstoppable person. Like we're gonna
That
just
was
keep
great.
I'm gonna fool
going
you.
over and over again.
I just wish there was more magic in the movie.
Mhm.
Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
of cool magic traversal or whatever, and like cool
Mm.
visuals, but a lot of the combat just amounts to like sparkly kung fu.
Mhm.
You know, like with
It's
his
true.
things on our fists. Like the stuff he
It's-
does later after his origin film is so it's like infinitely cooler than what we see in the first movie.
It's the Harry Potter problem where it's
Yeah.
just they're just shooting bullets instead of doing spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. So chat is kind of torn between A and B, and I'm definitely leaning B.
I'm
Everybody
leaning
cool
B
with
as
B?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
B
yeah.
feels right to me too.
That seems right. Okay,
Right,
let's
easy.
put Doctor Strange in B.
Maybe
All
if
right.
his accent wasn't so dodgy, it'd be a little bit higher.
Here's the next one. I think you guys might have a different opinion from me.
This is gonna be
Guardians of
hard.
the Galaxy Volume 2. This is my goat.
Whoa.
I think this goes in S. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is the best film here because it is, I think, the only one that came in that was built to be a story first and an event second.
Interesting.
I think it explores its themes of like ego and parenting like so well. And it's got some of the most fun action scenes. It's got the best characters of all these films, I think, and explores them in some phenomenal ways. It has like every character in it has this phenomenal arc. I mean, it's not perfect. I think, you know, how Mantis is treated, for example, is not
Hmm.
it's a little iffy.
Yeah, yeah.
But compared to all the other films in the MCU, I think this is definitely S tier, and I'm gonna vote for it for GOAT.
Oh, see, I love this movie. The Guardians films are my absolute favorite. I just one is still just a little bit higher.
That's
for
how
me.
I feel.
We
Same.
talked about it like last time. Like the first one, it's not as ambitious by comparison, but it succeeds more than this one in my
I
book.
disagree. I think the first one has the weaker villain. I think it has the weaker plot overall. It's also like it's an Infinity Stone. It's built to set up other films, and it's like the Collector, for example, is in it, but he's not part of the story. The Collector has nothing to do with the story. The Collector's for later.
It is very impressive they managed to make Ego work. Like you wouldn't think that
that was my thing. Like, you know, I was already, we talked about this when we were ranking the first one. It was amazing. Like, I'm taking our brains back in time to when they announced this. We're like, how they're going to make it out of the Guardians of the Galaxy? It's going to bomb. And, like, they do this amazing film. And then now also, like, of all people, like, the second when they were just like, come to my planet, and like, they said Ego. And I was like, are you serious? You're doing the planet, man? Like, one of the goofiest, like, characters that you would just look at if you didn't really know anything about comics. And they did it. They made him Kurt Russell. They took this weird pink and green planet thing and made him Kurt Russell.
Yeah. And they did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Adam Warlock? Adam Warlock was not in Guardians 2. It was just the end credits teaser. That's going to be 3. Like, I don't think you should. I don't think that matters in terms of this debate. Like that's like saying, Hulk was better just because Tony Stark appears right at the end. Like, he has nothing to do with it. He's just there to set up another film. Like that's just how these movies work.
And they also has such a fucking good opening, but so does Guardians 1. Like,
I mean, if we compare them next to each other, sure, it's a lot, but I just think Guardians 2 is a much tighter and more interesting film in general, and way more emotional.
It's definitely more interesting and more emotional, but I think it's hard. I agree with Chad. I think if I'm comparing 1 to 2, I definitely prefer 1. But maybe, and honestly, it's kind of thing where like a third film might make that second one even stronger in hindsight. Like it'll build off what's there. But as it is right now, as it stands, I think I still prefer the first one, at least for now.
Okay.
This is the one where Nebula was worked into the cast too, right? I'm not misremembering.
Nebula was in the first one, yes, but she was just the villain sent off.
Yeah, she gets a little more.
This one, they do the whole sister relationship.
And it does have the Mary Poppins moment, which is...
It does.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I know a big criticism of this film was like Yondu's redemption was like he was horrible to Quill his whole life or whatever. But I really like how they didn't treat it as like this black and white thing. Like there are some father or parent figures in the movie that are just irredeemable. Thanos, of course. But he is sort of redeemable because he's so much more complicated than just, I'm going to be an asshole. Like he's trying all these different things. And even in the setup of the movie, like we know he's trying to move away from his past. He's just got such a big ego that he's not able to accept what he's doing until much later.
Right. Also,
like it's interesting. I think it's a really interesting film. And the fact that they managed to make a film with ego about ego is just funny to me.
It's very funny. And also, like, this is the one that really dug in even more to Gamora's character and made you care even more about her, which is very important for what happens in Infinity War.
Well, and Nebula. Nebula was a nobody.
Well,
and now she's like one of the best characters in the series because of this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, dude, I love it. It's like S tier for me. I just put 1 just very slightly above it. Like,
well, I guess we've talked a lot about how it's good. Does anybody want to put it below S tier?
Question for you, Ben. Are we going to cap S tier at a certain number like we've done in the past?
Later on, yes.
Okay. I don't mind an S tier. We just might have to revisit at that point.
Okay, let's put it in S tier and move on. We'll figure it out later. Well, let me see what the chat says. Chat does put it in S tier, although there's a decent amount of votes for A. So maybe we'll do a Guardians 1 versus Guardians 2 poll in the chat later, and that will be what decides.
Oh, interesting.
Wild.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, let's go ahead and do that right now. While Chad, I think you have a sponsor we need to talk about.
I sure do. Because today's episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Feeling confident can take you far in life, especially when it's time to step up to the plate. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but as a chewable tablet and at a fraction of the cost. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And it's all done online, so no doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and one of my favorites, no going to the pharmacy. So if you could benefit from a little extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. And we've got a special deal for all of our viewers and listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code DBC at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code DBC, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the podcast. Blue Chew, check it out.
Thanks for sponsoring Blue Chew. Okay, there is a poll going on right now for which
So
Guardians
curious.
is better. It's pretty close.
What?
Vote for one.
So we'll see how that turns out.
No, here's the problem. I don't know if they're just going to fuck with me. Like,
Do it!
no, don't do that, man. Come on. They love to fuck with me. You're not going to get if you're trying to mess with me, you're not going to get the reaction from Captain Crunch. I'm just like,
I'm going to say,
now.
because I'm
I want
outnumbered
honesty.
here.
These movies are both important to me.
Look, I'm going to say I'm outnumbered here because the three of you say one is better, right?
Mhm.
So if chat is going to change, in order for two to be S and one to be A, we're going to say chat's vote has to be over 10% higher for two. Is that okay? Oh wait, it's already done, and it is over 10%.
How is it over that
How did that
quickly?
work out?
I don't.
All
There's
right,
some
all
shady dealings happening here.
I mean, I didn't see that. I just looked over and I was like, where'd it go? Oh, it's at 56%. All right, there we go. I mean, we got to move on to the next movie.
Yeah.
Let's
Guardians
move
2
on.
is S, Guardians 1 is A.
No.
Well,
There's other stuff I would move down personally.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's a hard one.
fine. Keep it an A. We'll just keep that, or keep it an S. We'll just keep that in mind for later. Whatever. All right. Next film is the first Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming. Where are we at with this one?
All right. I like that we got the Vulture where we were cheated from Spider-Man 3, so we finally
Yep.
got him, and it was pretty good.
Michael Keaton, awesome. I would put it in A. I think it was a really, really fun, cool introduction. Like not much better than A is where I would put it.
I just love that Michael Keaton was coming off of Birdman, and then they were like,
Yeah.
Vulture."
Typecast this
Perfect
guy who
fit.
can sort of fly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the Batman.
I think A is good.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite Spider-Man film.
I think of the three, it's the strongest personally.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
I fell asleep
probably.
watching that movie, but I was very tired, so I'm not going to hold that against it.
Oh boy.
All right, let's put Spider-Man Homecoming in A and move on to, oh gosh.
What's next?
Man, we're moving on to some good ones. Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Oh, dude,
So
this looks
fun.
awesome.
Okay.
Like,
To be fair, this one is amazing. Partly. I think there's a chunk of it that is amazing, and then a chunk of it that's just kind of like, they kind of had to do some stuff at Asgard.
Mm.
And, Taika Waititi tried to make it as stylish as the rest of the film. But it just, I don't know. I feel like the stuff in Asgard was just not as fun or interesting. And the Hela story, basically.
Mm.
I don't think she was as good of a villain as she could have been. I really don't have any strong opinions about it, though. Like, I just think it generally does. Whenever I watch the film, I kind of want to skip past those parts. That's all that I'm really.
just want the
I don't
Sakaar
really have
stuff.
any like really good criticism for it because it's not bad at all. It's just I just skip those parts whenever I think about this film.
It's got some of my favorite like visual art direction of all the movies. Like
Mhm.
I
it
love
looks so cool.
Yep, the Kirby style stuff. And honestly, when we get to Eternals, that's one of the things that I felt hindered it. Is this did it well, and then it didn't get used in the time we see the Celestials. So
That's true.
Yeah.
But-
Any criticism I have, I wouldn't put it towards Taika. I think everything he did was perfect for this character right now. It's mainly just I think the script stuff and the stuff that you were saying, Ben. Like the Asgard stuff feels like something we did have to do. Just like check that off. And it particularly, it's like the Warriors 3. I think deserved a little bit more.
yeah.
But what were we gonna do in a movie like this? So it doesn't knock it too hard for me, but it is kind of the only little slight.
It was also
There is-
we also got a little mini Hulk movie inside of it, so that
That's
was
true.
cool.
That's true.
Yeah. That whole BS about like there's going to be a Hulk trilogy within other movies. Whatever. I
still
like that was
do-
so fucking stupid.
I feel like this is the best way to use the Hulk though, as a supporting
It is,
cast
yes.
member
Yeah,
because
it's great.
I think
he's,
it works pretty well.
yeah, exactly. Like I see this as an A personally. Like I enjoy, like you said, Ben, the middle portion is fantastic, then
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's
Damon.
less. I think it's less that I think I skipped the. Again, I think I dislike the. I really don't want to use that word because people will just quote me, but I think I like the Asgard stuff less because I like the Trash Planet stuff way more, and I just wish there was more to it. Like Goldblum's character would have been a great villain for the whole movie, but he wasn't. I don't know. It does feel like there's a lot of cleaning the slate, right, in this film. But to be fair, it does a really good job with it, and the whole theme about what Asgard really is works. You know, it's a little cliche, sure, but it works really well, and it's fun. So I think A makes a lot of sense.
I'm also leaning A. Do we want to take a look at S and think if there's anything it would bump down?
Sure. Let's look at S then, because chat is saying S for sure. Is it better than Iron Man, Avengers, or Guardians 1?
I don't feel like it is, personally.
Guardians 1.
I don't think so.
I don't think
good,
so.
but
I would be like,
solid.
I'd like maybe tiptoe on the first Avengers, but like,
I would watch this over Iron Man 1. I watch Ragnarok over Iron Man.
Did Josh just gasp? I heard him gasp at that. You blasphemy.
Okay.
All right, so we just stick it at A.
We'll put it in A, but like with an asterisk.
This is gonna get
like,
so hard, dude.
It deserves S.
It's
exactly
hard.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is gonna be tough. All right,
We're about to get
in A.
into
Korg,
Infinity
one of my
War
favorite
Endgame.
characters in the series.
Oh man, it feels like it should be S though, right? All right, Black Panther.
You know, real quick, like the ending to that movie, much more depressing once you get to the Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's so upbeat, and then
yeah. They're like, let's move Asgard somewhere, and then half of them are obliterated instantly.
Yeah. It's a real bummer.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Black Panther. What do you guys think? It is very good.
yeah. This has the same problem that a lot of Marvel movies have, which is the third act is kind of just a CG clusterfuck, and it's not quite as good as the rest of the movie.
All
the
the
rest of the movie is
all the
beautiful.
actors are so good though.
So
Like,
good.
Oh, they're so good in that movie.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the third act, I would probably put it in S. So like I do think it kind of fumbles a little bit at the end, and that would for me I would put it in A because of that. But otherwise, everything else about it is so fun. It's so great. Like it feels so vibrant and like exciting. And a lot of that I think is Ryan Coogler. Like the way he visualizes everything is just so impressive and so fun.
And it was just really cool to like go to Wakanda. You know, it's like that's a thing that's always like talked about, and even like, you know, they've done stuff in comics before, but it's like it's this kind of secretive city that they've always, you know, that's why they hide and all this stuff. And it's like a very important city. It's like this is like my first journey, like where we just got to like really go in and experience it and see all this stuff. It was like that was really cool to me. I love the environment of it.
Yeah, I have to say everything about Wakanda itself was phenomenally done. Of course, Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan were fantastic in it. And when we say the ending, the last third is maybe a little fumbles. It's really not their fault at all. I don't even think it's like Coogler's per se. It kind of comes down to, I do think that fight between Killmonger and Black Panther is, it's just kind of weird to watch. I don't
Super
know.
CG. That's one of those things they start.
Like, the look of it. Yeah,
that's one of those things they start like way before they start getting to the actual filming of things.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I just don't think it worked out very well. It's, you know, classic problem we talked about with the Captain America movie. But overall, I do think it's worth an A, B tier at minimum. But A is where I would put it.
I'm fine with A or B.
It's definitely
not B for Black Panther.
No.
Joshua Gomez, just B, just at bare minimum. But I think it should go A. What are you? Let's look at the chat real quick.
They're at A right now.
A and B. Yeah, I think everybody's
close.
kind of in the same opinion here. We can put it in A.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same as like asterisk like Ragnarok, but it could go up there. Compared to like Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, yeah, absolutely. A. Cool. Next up, let's talk next up, I think this is a good point. We are at the halfway mark to show let's take a little break from our MCU shenanigans and show off a different superhero thing. Let's show off the sneak peek for the upcoming death battle of Omni-Man versus Homelander.
Do it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's do it.
Fight for Bezos. Go.
Howdy, neighbor. Coco? It's warm. You know, Nolan, Homelander is more than just a superhero. It might be cynical to say this, but he's a brand. And it's very important to me that that brand means something. And if I'm playing second fiddle to some goddamn alien, what's really the point, right? What do you think, Debbie? Aw, she's shy. So, do we have an understanding? Get the fuck out of my country. I'm going to feed you your own heart. Shit. That was a great line.
That looked amazing.
It's so
my
good.
The giggling from Chad during that was fantastic.
We only got to show off one punch, man. This fight gets wild.
We couldn't show any more because it's just over there. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I didn't want to spoil too much, and there's also that whole setup, right? Like the setup in itself, that opening scene with the conversation is really good.
So good.
So props to Liam for coming up with that in the writing. But also, Yang Ya returns as Homelander, back from our Boys episode from like 2 years ago, and we got Tom Schulk as Omni-Man pulling off. It's like perfect. It sounds just like him, I think. This is the same guy who voiced Kool-Aid Man for us. He's just got a wild range. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Joe Ferry in the chat says, "Did you call the animators from the damn show?" No, that was the Rooster Teeth animation department there.
Those
Yes.
guys are great.
Incredible.
Like Tanya and Chris Bach, they did a phenomenal job running the show. I just love our animation team. They're so cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
S
yeah.
tier, if you will. Incredible.
Yes. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get back into it. But Omni-Man Homelander does air next weekend, or this upcoming weekend. That'll be this Sunday, the 22nd, for first members on Rooster Teeth and on YouTube on the 23rd. Very excited to share it with you guys. It's a fun episode. It's also, if you are very opposed to seeing gore,
Yeah,
maybe
this is
be careful clicking on this one.
Fair.
this is the most violent
gets
death
kinda
battle
brutal.
we've ever done.
Saying something.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. It's definitely up there. It's definitely in for competition, but I don't want to oversell it.
I got you.
oversell it.
It's just it's graphic. That's all I have to say.
We've done over 150 episodes, Chad. I don't actually know which one is the most violent. I don't remember. Anyway, let's get to the next one on the list, which would be Avengers Infinity War.
Ooh, the big one, or one of the big ones, anyway.
Yes.
This one, out of all the Avengers films, I can see this one being in competition for GOAT.
It is.
Sure.
My two goats going into this that I was really back and forth between is Guardians 1 and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Is this one S? Do we really even have to debate
Yeah,
this?
no, S.
This one goes in S, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Like,
Okay. Like we're gonna have to get into a debate when we decide what isn't S, but we'll
Right.
go ahead and put this in S for now and move on.
like, do you want to save? Yeah, you want to save the whole debate for this then? Until
yeah,
that.
yeah. Let's save it for
Might
that
as well.
So let's get on to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
D.
I'll see you in C or D.
Yeah. I'm
Was there
not
anything
really sure.
bad, or is this another one of those where you just like it was so lukewarm from start to finish that like
For me, it's the saying of the word quantum every fourth word. It's like it's insane. It's just so ridiculous and silly. Like it's fun. Again, like none of these MCU movies are bad, but it's just like to me, it's a little too broad. It's a little too silly. That brings it down pretty far for me. I am super happy the next one's called Quantum Mania because it sounds like they're going to lean into it. This one, I don't think does it super well. They talk about it very seriously, how quantum this, quantum that is really important, and it just didn't land for me.
Paul doesn't even have A as an option. All right, are we feeling C or D? I'm trying to see. I think it's
It
better
definitely
than.
belongs below the first one in my book.
yeah, I would say
Yeah.
probably D.
What did we put the first one under? I don't
C.
even remember.
Wow,
C?
chat's between B and C right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, we didn't. We put it in B. Yeah, we could put this in C. I think this belongs in C.
All right.
Yeah.
All
If
right,
that's
fine.
the case, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Captain Marvel.
All right, this will be interesting.
Yeah,
I liked
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
I liked it too.
But I'm
Solid
also
film.
like, you wanna sell me a movie like that I know I'll enjoy it, set it in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like I loved the whole vibe, the art direction for this movie was just so cool, man. It was so fun.
Yeah, I think compared to some of the other films, there's definitely a little bit of charm missing, I guess. I don't know. It's hard for me to say exactly what it is about Captain Marvel. It's not a film that I've ever really found myself wanting to go back and watch again, which honestly applies to quite a few of these. Pretty much anything that is like that we've put on C or lower, I've never really thought about going back to watch again.
William, C for Carol.
maybe I guess I would have to put it at C, but I feel like it might deserve a little higher than that.
I think
This
Well,
is the first
actually,
one where they. Oh, sorry, Chad. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of people are saying D.
No,
It's kind of
come
between
on,
C
that's
and
not
D.
fair.
Yeah.
It's better
Well,
than that.
Why? I'm curious why it would be trash, because like the film is pretty good. I think it generally works really well for what it's going for. Yeah.
yeah.
Especially given how
Villain
much
was kinda
Kree
meh.
stuff we get, like
Right.
that much of the Kree, like it's an entity that usually probably wouldn't work. Doesn't usually
Yeah,
work
the
always.
Kree and the Skrull twist.
Yeah.
I can see people who are like, want the Skrulls to be the villains, like in the comics, to be like, mad about that or whatever. It's a Mandarin twist kind of thing. But I think it works really well, and also kind of removes the potential paranoia of any person could be a Skrull and a villain, which is potentially kind of overpowered and problematic for future movies. I could see that conversation being a thing at Marvel Studios, being like, if we introduce the Skrulls as villains, then every other movie is up for question,
It's on the
right?
table,
Like,
yeah.
like what does that mean for the future? So, but it also means that like the good guys have this really powerful asset that we have seen them use.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's
Nick Fury
tricky.
stuff's also pretty good in this. In
Yeah.
my book, like,
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
The
The
effect
Nick-
is generally pretty decent. And go ahead, Josh. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say that the Nick Fury and Carol relationship dynamic is really fun. That's like my favorite part of that movie. I think it's like up there. I think with like Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans and Winter Soldier. Like not quite as good as that, but that's what it was kind of reminiscent of for me. Like those two characters going on this adventure together and it being like this buddy cop movie almost. Just not as good as Winter Soldier, but still really fun and really enjoyable. And I like seeing more of Nick. I'm excited to see more of him in the future.
Yeah, I see some people in chat mentioning that she's an underwritten character. Her personality is the same with or without amnesia. I don't think that's true. There's a whole scene that's dedicated to that with her versus Jude Law at the end. Like, it's not about her changing her personality. It's about her taking agency. That's the movie is about her and agency.
Mhm.
And she takes agency for herself by the end. Like, she doesn't change as a person. In fact, that's kind of the point. She's not supposed to change as a person. Like, she decides not to change as a person. She decides to just become who that person is.
Yep.
So
Also,
I think that might be a little weird, or I don't know if it's necessarily a wrong way to like read the film, but it's not the way I read it.
Yeah. Also, we got Goose.
Sure,
It's pretty fun.
It doesn't hurt. It helps a little bit. And we got the story behind Nick Fury's eye patch. So
Which
that was very
sure,
enjoyable.
okay. I'm gonna say B or C.
I
did
could
B.
feel a B for sure. Like,
B.
I was
I
leaning.
had fun with it.
Yeah, I really love the aesthetic, but I think it's like a high C or a low B, so it's hard.
You got to pick one because you're the deciding vote between us and the chat. We got a tie.
I'm gonna go with the chat. I'm gonna go with C since the chat was literally
All right.
tied. They were 35-35 on C and D. So if you
Yeah,
guys are all saying B, I'll side with the chat and put it in C.
Yeah, that
All right,
feels still
well-
appropriate.
I mean, Billy, didn't you say C?
I said B, but I can see. I can also see. So
Okay, whatever. We should move on. Let's go ahead and put it in C.
Oh, but it is better than Ant-Man and the Wasp and Iron Man 3. Oh, fuck
just
that.
shift
Put
it
it in B.
Put it in
Oh,
front.
put
I
it in
agree.
B.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I saw that what it's next to. Oh, yeah, put it in B. Sorry, we're not. No.
We did it.
All right, time for Endgame.
Ooh.
Endgame.
So many fan service moments. That's what this movie is.
Yeah.
But they're well done.
Well, really
Super well done.
It's almost an impossible challenge to make that movie work and it not come out a complete mess, and they somehow did it.
Absolutely.
That's what I was
absolutely.
just blown away. Anytime the Avengers movies, I'm like, how are they juggling all these storylines and still making like each of everyone's favorite character have their own time to shine? And Endgame did that with the most, literally all of them. It's like, we need everybody that's ever showed up in a film at some point, and they somehow like made it work. And I was like, that's like a massive testament to the filmmakers.
I guess. I mean, I don't think Endgame does it nearly as well as Infinity War. I think Endgame is a Captain America and Iron Man film exclusively. I don't think anybody else really has an arc or does anything of note.
Well, they all get their whole section by themselves, right? So
yeah.
I mean, I think
Infinity
War's better.
Is there
for
to
sure.
be supporting characters.
Yeah, Infinity War's better for sure.
But yeah, I can't justify. It's an incredible achievement.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could possibly deny that. Like, if they do, they're fucking stupid. But as a film, it's just a final act to everything, and so it relies on everything to be as successful as it is. I think we can't put it any higher than A. I think it absolutely should be A, but no, it can't be S.
I mean, and I cry
Same.
hard,
so much.
I can't even quote that line. Like, I'm not even gonna say it because it will get me.
Yeah.
But like happy at the God. Yeah, let's get it.
So Josh.
Well, I think it has faults more so than Infinity War, and we forgive them because it's kind of earned an opportunity to like resolve so much. Like it's too long, and it does kind of like, even the fact that it is too long, it does focus primarily on Tony and Chris when it could have been so many other characters and so many other things that it's juggling. But we forgive it because it's earned that space, and we know what it's for. It's to wrap up this 10-year-long journey. So like, I agree. I don't think it's quite S because of all that stuff, but it's definitely A. You know, like, can't be lower than that.
I should clarify. It's a Tony, Cap, and Thor movie because it does sort of cap off all of their arcs to a degree. I mean, Thor's like moving his arc forward, but it is about him accepting that he should not be king. Like that his arc about whether or not he should be king does come to a conclusion in it. So, and a lot of arcs do wrap up in it. It does a really good job with those. But they are arcs that just needed like a scene to kind of wrap up, essentially. Except for Thor's, actually. The whole like whether or not he's worthy is kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm on board with S. I know the chat is going to be mad at us because they're voting overwhelmingly S. Sorry, I'm on board for A. I know they're overwhelmingly S.
S, yeah.
The question
what do you guys
is,
think?
Well, we should look at the S's again, because that's the thing. It's like, we know that Infinity War is higher than it.
Original Avengers, both Guardians. Go ahead and bring up that. Iron Man.
Do we feel Endgame is stronger than any of those?
I mean, I'd rather watch it than Iron Man.
I'd rather watch it probably than the first Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, just given the sheer amount of stuff it's juggling, it succeeds. The Avengers, that was its whole claim to fame anyway, and this does it times 10. So
I think we just figured out what the bottom tier S ones are, but I don't know.
So I would put
torn.
it over the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
Do you guys feel the same, Josh?
I'm happy with where we're at. I'm happy with the ones we have in S, and I'd be fine with Endgame in A.
Okay.
I think I have to agree.
With
yeah,
who?
I have to agree with Josh.
Okay.
Man, okay.
That's
It's
hard.
tough though. It's really hard.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's put it in S and move on. We will
right,
wrap up
come
this
back to it.
conversation when we're doing all of it. All right.
Good luck.
I don't think it should be an S, but I absolutely understand why, and I can't fight that.
Yeah.
All right, Spider-Man. Far
Ben,
from
maybe
home.
you could change it into a different category if you only knew how to code.
Oh yeah, that is a good lead-in. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, I'm
To
teeing you up.
our next sponsor, the sponsor for this week's episode, which is Code Academy. I will need to learn how to code in order to figure out how to like fix our tier list, I guess. All right, Code Academy is sponsoring this episode, and they've been sponsoring us a couple times at this point. So if you want to change your career, there's never been a better time to become a programmer than with Code Academy, where you can learn to code on your own terms. Over 50 million people already know that Codecademy is the best way to learn to code. And that's because Codecademy not only teaches you job-ready coding skills, but also helps you build unique projects for your portfolio, earn certificates, and even prep for technical interviews. Learn at your own pace and get qualified for in-demand jobs. Choose what to learn, from basic building websites to artificial intelligence, it's their words, not mine, and everything else you could want, so you can learn to do some impressive stuff. No matter what your experience level, you'll be writing real working code in minutes. And learn coding languages including Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so much more. And an awesome thing that Codecademy offers is that you can get instant feedback on your code. Your code is tested as soon as you submit it, so you always know if you're on the right track. That's a huge resource. Like, that's so invaluable. So join over 50 million people learning to code with Codecademy and see where coding can take you. Get 15% off your Codecademy Pro membership when you go to codecademy.com and use promo code CAST. That's promo code CAST at codecademy.com to get 15% off Codecademy Pro. The best way to learn to code. codecademy.com, promo code CAST. Thanks a bunch for the sponsor, Codecademy. All right, let's get back to Spider-Man.
I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up your first name, so I'm just going to hear your last name. Rivers in the chat says, Codecademy is great. Used it to self-learn since I was 12. That's awesome.
Nice.
Wow, that's amazing.
Awesome.
Get everyone to use our promo code.
Yes, share it around.
Great way to support the show.
It does support us and the show directly, so it's a huge help. Even if you're not sure if it's something that you really want to like stick with, if you just want to try it, it's jump in, you know. All right, so Spider-Man 2: Far From Home.
Where did we put the first one?
Yeah, it's
A, right?
Oh, yeah. Chad needs to excuse
Guess who
himself.
didn't catch up on
watch.
Spider-Man?
Someone didn't do his homework.
Just earmuffs.
All right. Well, let's keep this quick then for Chad's sake.
Yeah.
Chad, if you can hear me, we'll avoid spoilers.
All right.
So let's try to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
Just give a number, letter,
I think
whatever
it's on
we're
par
doing.
with the first one.
Yeah, same. I like it a little bit less, but not by much.
I agree.
Mysterio was a
Villain's
great villain.
excellent. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think the challenge, the very personal challenge that Peter's going through, is very interesting,
Mhm.
and it's kind of unique among all these movies in terms of what's going on with it. All of the Spider-Man films, frankly, are just because of where he's at. Yeah, I think we can put it in A then.
Great.
Everybody cool with that? Chad is. It's 45%
Sure.
A. All right, it's
I'm
going
good
to
with
A.
moving on. Let's-
Black
Moving
Widow.
I thought this was all right. Like, I just watched it not too long ago. It was okay. Like,
Really?
it got a lot of shit. The effects can be a little bit wonky, but like, I'm not super nuts on Scarlett Johansson in it, but like everybody else, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed. Like, that's the weird thing about it. Like the lead,
I'm not
just
so hot
okay.
on the main character who's
but-
been playing this
No, but that's
character
the
for an
thing.
entire franchise.
But that's the thing. She should have gotten a solo movie way earlier. And the best
Yes.
part about this solo movie is Florence Pugh and I'm blanking on his name, but the new characters that they introduce in this film are the best part. Are so fun, and I can't wait to see them again.
And they do have meaty parts, which is what helps it in my book. Like they're not like minor characters; they're pretty major in it.
David Harbour.
The villain is just obviously Harvey Weinstein, so
Uh-huh.
that's a little bit weird. But yeah, I thought it was like at least a C or so. Like it was just a decent like spy
can see
thriller
that.
style. Yeah.
I think, yeah, everything about the family, the dinner table scene, and the following scene in the bedroom, best moments of the movie.
Yeah.
The family interaction stuff was great. The plot was not.
That was it.
Sounded like a C here.
This
I
was
think
the
it's
only
a
one.
C.
This
That's
is the only
fair.
one that didn't get like special credits too, because I thought it was a little weird. Like all the other rest get like this special
Oh, really?
like blown out credits right before for the like the first teaser, and this only had one. It's really strange.
Did it not? Interesting. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, it was also released. This was their first release during the pandemic, right? I
Mhm.
think.
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Okay. I think C's fair.
Yeah.
Chat seems to think so as well. So we can put it in C. And move on to Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. I think this is
Oh,
easily
man.
A.
Mhm, at
Absolutely.
least.
I haven't seen it. This
Easily
one's on my
A.
list too. I
We'll
want
be
to catch
quick
up on the
about it.
Spider-Man
We do
movies
have
first.
to get through the next ones pretty quick. So we
I
can
gotta say
debate
one thing
S.
about Shang-Chi, and then
Go.
I'm good. As an Asian American who spent a lot of time in the San Francisco Bay Area, to see that opening scene with them on a muni bus, like that was very special for me. I love the MCU. To see myself represented even a little bit It's very special. Like, I love Shang-Chi. I think it's an easy A for me. So fun.
Awesome. Yes. Let's put it in A.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen it, Chad, you need to see it.
I know I need to see it.
solid
It's
all
all
the
It's
way
a
through.
really good. It's really good. And it's got some of the best action scenes. I think it's just if we were to grade every film over all of their action scenes all together, this one would be top. I don't think anything can beat it. So yeah, I think you'll like it a lot. All right,
It's like
next
a
up
giant
is
middle finger to Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Oh man,
The exact opposite, right? All right. So,
let's talk about Eternals. Going from really strong to really meh, I guess. I had a hard time with Eternals because, like, I really like the general concept, but by the end of the film, I was just kind of like, this. I feel like they just went the wrong direction with it.
Yeah,
I kept waiting for it to get weird, and it never did. It was just kind of like mumblecore the whole way through. Like,
That's actually a pretty good comparison.
I have seen people bring this up throughout all of the last week's episode and this one that they were like, it better be trash. Like, and I'm seeing a lot of trash right now.
I
don't
don't
think
think
I
it's
like this
trash.
way more than Thor: Dark World.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say,
exactly.
Compared to Thor: Dark World.
It's
No,
better
it's
than
not
that.
as bad.
No.
And I
But
love that they
remember,
kind of,
there's a scale
Yeah,
in
there
these
definitely-
tiers.
Then again, I don't know if anything in Eternals reaches the same high that the Loki scenes in Dark World reach.
Interesting.
And again, even though Thor: Dark World isn't trash, it doesn't mean it's a terrible movie in this regard.
Yeah.
So maybe it does make sense to put it in trash for this.
I think
there
what
are a
I'm-
lot.
what I'm about to say might not sound great, but I think it could have been a lot worse. Like, the fact that there are 10 of these characters and there's so much to juggle, and we're going through like different decades and so much history, like, it's not a mess of a movie. It just doesn't make, I think there are some key decisions it makes that a lot of us kind of disagree with. And that's kind of it. Like, it could have just been stronger. It's not like a mess of a movie in the way that maybe Dark World is.
You know what? I think it is comparable to Dark World because the movie is generally kind of mumblecore, but Don Lee and Angelina Jolie, whenever they're on together, they're awesome. Like, their scenes are so good.
Yeah.
it had one too many characters in my book. Like they needed to trim one of those people. And
It would have been a
It's
great
just kind of
Disney
similar
Plus
to
show, I think.
Yes, it should have. It would have been really good as a show.
Mhm.
But that's similar to like when Thor and interact with Loki. Like, it was really good. I think it makes sense to put it next to Thor
Send Dark World Company to the
All right,
trash.
we're putting it in the trash. Even though
Put it in front of it
I'm
though.
sorry, Eternals.
I like
Yeah,
the third act of this way more than I've liked most. Like when
Yeah.
I thought the third act was stronger, which was
Really
weird.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, I guess it's just I don't think it set it up well enough. Anyway, all right, we got to move on. All right, Spider-Man. Oh no!
Right?
Here
What's
comes
gonna
the
happen with this
problems.
one? Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I didn't like it as much as the other two.
Me neither. I
You-
think it's a
this this is a movie. Just to sum up my feelings on it real quick, it is so much fucking fun to
Mhm.
watch it for the
So
first time in a
fun.
theater. It is it is a perfect event movie. I don't really care about the story. I don't think it is that good of a just movie later to like think about later
Mhm.
on.
You're gonna get the chat riled. They're like S tier,
Wait for
go,
it.
go,
Wait
S
No,
tier.
I'm sorry.
It is
It's
so
like
much
a
fun,
really
but I
good-
think as its own movie, I don't think it really
Yeah,
works as well as
it's
the
a-
others.
Yeah.
It's a really good theme park ride, like a really good, but it's a theme park ride. Like the depth is not there compared to the
Yeah.
other two.
Yeah.
Like-
Well,
And
yeah, and specifically compared to the other two, is
Uh-huh.
what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
This,
I think that's important to keep in mind, Chat.
Yes.
we're not
Yeah.
we're not ragging on it because it's pretty well written, pretty well made. We're comparing it to the other films here. Sorry, Josh, what were you gonna say?
well, yeah. I mean, I think it's a great job at what it's setting out to do. I think what it's setting out to do is not great. Like, it accomplishes that job really well, but like in terms of a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, it's the only one so far that requires you to do homework outside of its own universe. Like, if you haven't seen some of those movies, you are completely lost. And I saw it with people who hadn't seen those movies and turned to me and were like, "Who is that?"
What the hell?
You
is
know what I
happening?
mean?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So it's like
yeah.
the movie does not set them up. You have to have done your homework.
All right.
From a
Does that-
different studio.
It's really
So-
great they managed to do something with the Amazing Spider-Man characters because
Yeah.
like that movie got fucked hard.
Yes,
But-
yes.
Yep.
But we got to move on. So
There's no
B,
way we're settling
everybody
this
good
in
with
5
B?
minutes.
I'm good with B.
All right, B. And real quick, we're not going to spoil Doctor Strange. I just want to know a letter from you, Josh, because you've seen it, and also Brian, who's running this show.
Yeah,
What
come on
letter
in,
should it go?
Brian.
So I just need a letter.
Yeah,
Oh, he was ready.
I love it. I'm thinking B. Brian?
I'm good with that. I'm
Yeah.
good with B.
Easy.
All right. We're putting
Great.
it in B. Okay. Now
job,
we need
Brian.
to get. Thanks for keeping it quick, Brian.
I love it.
All right. So we have 6 movies in S. We need to whittle this down to 4. I'm gonna say we knock out Iron Man and Endgame.
Ooh.
At least do
no.
Iron Man.
No, I
Just
think
say what you
Endgame's
wanna knock
better
out.
than.
I would knock out Endgame and a Guardians movie.
Oh, right. Sorry. Iron Man and Guardians 1. Iron Man and Guardians 1. Or
Guardians
sorry,
1
Endgame
is
and
my
Guardians
goat.
1.
I want to.
So
Iron Man
in a
and
way,
Guardians-
you do want to knock it out.
Okay,
yes.
here's what we're gonna do. You just say what it's gonna be, and we're gonna base it off of that. I got Guardians 1 and Endgame
To drop
I'm just-
down.
to drop down. Just name what film you want to drop down. The ones with the highest is the most. The thing that said the most. is
Iron
what's gonna
Man and
drop
Guardians 2 for me. That's the 2 for me.
down. Okay.
Avengers 1 and Guardians 2.
Endgame, Guardians 2.
No. No.
Hey,
Okay,
Ben, but we
well-
love your passion for Guardians 2, all right?
I'm really mad about this, but we'll drop down Guardians 2 and Endgame. Yes. Guardians 2 and Endgame get dropped. All right. So let's get a vote in the chat. This is what's going to decide S or GOAT tier. All right. So the poll is going to be Iron Man, Avengers 1. Can you bring that back up, please? Iron Man, Avengers 1, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers Endgame.
I'm so stressed.
I know,
It's
right?
like-
I know. Oh.
Because Guardians 1 and Infinity War are the 2 for me that I was like, it's hard to decide between. The balls of what they did on Infinity War. Like, it's such a good movie from start to finish. And yes, there's a lot of people like, of course they're going to get brought back in the next movie, and we know that. But they had the balls to do that where children were viewing it. Kids were walking out of theaters crying. Like, my wife didn't know what was happening when I showed it to her, and she was crying.
Wait, sorry. Did we have the wrong things in there? Is it Infinity War, not Endgame?
It should be Infinity War.
should be Infinity
I think
War.
it's just typo. So Infinity War is what you're voting for there.
Pretend it's Infinity War, guys.
Let's
what's going on?
pretend it's Infinity War. It should not be Endgame. I said that wrong. Endgame is an A. Crap. Okay,
Well, that messed it up. We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.
Redo it again. Iron Man, Avengers 1, Guardians, and Infinity War.
Yeah.
We got to get this pull back up.
So
The other thing I really
Um,
appreciated about, I'm just trying to get facts out about Infinity War because we didn't get to talk about it. The other thing I really appreciated was even the thinnest plot lines to get characters that are way too powerful out of the situation so that it felt more real. Like, they're like, oh, Thor's fucking off in space, like doing his shit. The Hulk's disagreeing with himself. Wanda's really upset about Vision. Who else? Who else was like taken out of that?
Let's get our votes in, Ben. I think that's the way to go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I love
let's
that.
go, let's
At
go
least
ahead
they
and
gave
get
us
our
a little
votes in.
reason.
Let's go ahead and get our votes in, and then hopefully the chat poll can go up ASAP. And okay,
there
it's
we
up. Go
go.
ahead and get your votes in. We got like 60 seconds to figure
Mr.
this out.
Singer, I don't feel so good.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No. Well, I guess Billy won't be able to get his vote in.
Sorry, Billy.
Oh my god!
But I think that means that his vote is for Infinity War.
That's my vote.
All right, I'm gonna say Infinity. I'm gonna say Guardians 1.
I think we're all gonna have a different answer.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm Avengers 1 all the way.
Oh, boy.
What?
What's yours, Chad?
Guardians 1.
I knew
Oh,
it.
hey, we got 2 for Guardians. All right, what's the chat got? Let's go ahead and see.
Because if I had to watch
walk
one
it
movie
down.
from the MCU over and over and over again, it would be Guardians 1.
It would be Avengers 1.
And it stands up completely alone.
It's close
fair.
for me between Guardians and Infinity War between these 4. If Guardians
Yeah.
2 was here, wouldn't be close at all. But all right, we're just gonna wrap it up as it is. Infinity War by a long shot gets the poll win, which I think
Yeah.
the amount that it wins is. Let's put Infinity War at GOAT. Like, you guys, it's overwhelmingly
great
voted
one.
in the chat. Yeah, and
It's
it
a great
deserves
one.
it.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, there
Ben,
we
to
go.
feel better, do you want to, now that there's that open slot, do you want to move Guardians
Put it
2
back
up to S?
That's not how the rules work, Chad. I wish it did. I wish
We
it did, but
make
you guys
the
ruined
rules!
it. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us for wrapping
man.
up this ridiculous MCU ranking. How did our tier list stack up with yours, with your opinions? It's probably very different.
Leave
And
a
if
comment.
you think we're wrong, you're probably right. All right. Oh, well, as always, thank you for watching. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Be awesome. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.
Howdy, neighbor. Coco? It's warm. You know, Nolan, Homelander is more than just a superhero. It might be cynical to say this, but he's a brand. And it's very important to me that that brand means something. And if I'm playing second fiddle to some goddamn alien, what's really the point, right? What do you think, Debbie? Aw, she's shy. So, do we have an understanding? Get the fuck out of my country. I'm going to feed you your own heart. Shit. That was a great line.